Imagine for a moment that you could peek into the bank account of the greatest genius of all time. A man whose ideas were 500 years ahead of his era. Whose inventions only became reality centuries after his death. Right now, as you watch this video, the world's wealthiest people, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Bernard Arnault, measure their fortunes in tens and hundreds of billions of dollars. But where would the titan of the Renaissance, Leonardo da Vinci, rank in this financial rating? What would his $1.5 million annual salary *** look like in today's euros, pounds, or even Bitcoin? Today we will accomplish the impossible. We will conduct a full financial audit across 5 centuries, converting Renaissance ducats not just into modern $420,000, but also into 385,000 euros and 330,000 pounds. We won't just convert ducats into dollars, we will reveal the shocking truth about how society pays those who can see the future. And I warn you, the ending of this story will make you reconsider the very nature of wealth and success. Get ready for a journey that will change your understanding of what it truly means to be rich. So, was Julius Caesar history's first trillionaire? In terms of raw, concentrated economic power relative to his world, absolutely, multiple times over. His fortune wasn't just money, it was the fuel for empire building on a scale we can barely imagine. It highlights how utterly different the ancient world was, where wealth, politics, and military force were inseparable. What do you think? Does this blow your mind? Who else from history should we put through this modern net worth translator? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive into ancient megawealth, give this video a big thumbs up, it really helps the channel. And subscribe for more mind-blowing history, economics, and untold stories. Thanks for watching, and remember, some fortunes truly are legendary. See you in the next one. Let's dive into the details of his financial life, as if we were studying the accounting ledgers of his time. The gold ducat is not just a coin, it's the standard of an era. Each ducat contained 3.5 grams of pure, highest quality gold. Leonardo's annual salary of 2,000 ducats equaled 7 kilograms of precious metal. Converted to modern exchange rates, that's approximately $420,000**, or Euro 385,000, or Pound 330,000. But that's just the beginning of the financial picture. His famous commission for the fresco, The Last Supper, in the Milanese monastery of Santa Maria del Grazie was valued at the same 2,000 ducats, another payment worth $420,000 in today's money. In European terms, that's 385,000 euros, enough to buy a luxury apartment in Milan today. In British pounds, it's approximately 330,000 pounds, more than what many top London architects earn in a year. And what about the Mona Lisa? Although the exact payment amount hasn't survived in documents, art historians, studying the archives of the French court, believe he received the equivalent of several $100,000 by today's standards for it. However, a simple conversion through gold is misleading, it doesn't account for the real purchasing power of that money. On Leonardo's salary, one could maintain an entire workshop with apprentices, buy expensive imported pigments for paints, purchase parchment for countless notes, and live in one's own spacious house. A more accurate estimate, based on comparing economic shares, shows that his real annual income was equivalent to $1.5 to $2 million in 2025 dollars. Let's break that down internationally, that's 1.38 to 1.84 million euros, or 1.18 to 1.57 million pounds sterling. To put it in cryptocurrency terms, that's over 35 Bitcoin at current valuations. He was a successful professional, but not a financial titan of his time. Now, prepare for the most shocking revelation of our investigation. Right now, at this very moment you are watching this video, airplanes are flying in the sky, medical devices are working in hospitals, cars are driving on roads, and at the foundation of many of these technologies lie ideas born in Leonardo da Vinci's workshop 5 centuries ago. Imagine if there had been a system allowing him to patent his inventions. Just 1% in royalties from the multi-billion-dollar global aviation industry, which grew out of his drawings of helicopters, ornithopters, and gliders, would bring him billions of dollars annually. His detailed descriptions of bearings, mechanical components used today in every car, every machine, every piece of industrial equipment, would become a source of endless income. His revolutionary research in human anatomy, which is still cited in medical textbooks, would bring him fortunes from publishing rights. His concepts for the self-propelled cart, the prototype of the modern automobile, his designs for tanks, parachutes, diving suits, contact lenses, if all this had been protected by patents, his fortune in 2025 would easily exceed $150 billion. Let me repeat that, $150 billion US. For our European viewers, that's 138 billion euros. For our British audience, 120 billion pounds. In Japanese yen, we're talking over 22 trillion yen. He would have been wealthier than 120 billion Swiss francs, making the Swiss banking system work overtime, making him one of the richest people in human history. He was a living, breathing tech startup, but born hundreds of years before the very concept of intellectual property existed. So where did all this money go, if he didn't end up super rich? The answer lies in his lifestyle and, more importantly, in his obsession with knowledge. Leonardo was not a spendthrift, squandering money on luxury and pleasures. On the contrary, he was the most dedicated investor, but he invested not in real estate or financial assets, but in pure knowledge. His biggest expense was maintaining the unique research laboratory that was, in essence, his workshop. High-quality pigments for paints, like ultramarine extracted from the semi-precious stone lapis lazuli, cost a fortune. Just 1 ounce of ultramarine blue cost about 50 ducats, that's $10, 500 * today, or €9, 600, or £8, 250. He might spend $42,000, 38,500 euros, 33,000 pounds, on pigments for a single painting, the cost of a luxury car in today's money. Parchment for his countless notes and sketches was incredibly expensive, each page of his manuscripts cost as much as a full meal in a tavern, about 1 ducat per page. That's $210** per page in modern terms, or euro 192, or pound 165. His 7,000 pages of notes represent a paper investment of nearly $1.5 million, 1.38 million euros, 1.16 million pounds, in today's money. He spent huge sums organizing anatomical studies, not only paying for access to corpses but also risking his own freedom and reputation, as such activities were often condemned by the church. He supported several students and apprentices, providing them with housing, food, and education. He funded his engineering experiments, which often ended in failure, building prototypes of flying machines, testing new mechanisms. Essentially, he was the CEO of a startup called The Future of Humanity, which constantly reinvested all profits back into research and development. His bank account remained modest precisely because his true capital was not in gold, but in the 7,000 pages of manuscripts filled with genius insights. So we arrive at the fundamental question: was Leonardo da Vinci a financial failure? If we measure wealth solely by the size of a bank account, perhaps, yes. But if we look at his true legacy, he was, without exaggeration, the richest man who ever walked this planet. The Mona Lisa is today insured for over $870 million. But let's convert that, that's 800 million euros, 685 million pounds, or over 1.1 billion Canadian dollars. However, its real cultural and historical value is immeasurable. It has become an icon, a symbol, a part of humanity's collective consciousness. You couldn't buy it with all the 625 million Swiss francs in circulation. His ideas ultimately led to the technologies that define our modern civilization, from aviation to robotics, from cartography to medical diagnostics. His value is, essentially, our entire technological age. He leaves us with a profound philosophical lesson: there are forms of wealth that cannot be measured in gold or dollars. Investments in pure knowledge, in art, in insatiable curiosity, these are investments whose dividends are reaped by dozens of generations later. In our world, obsessed with immediate monetization and quick profit, Leonardo's story serves as a powerful reminder. Some seeds you plant today will bear fruit only after hundreds of years, but those fruits can feed all of humanity. What do you think? Should a genius strive for financial success? Or is the true value of creativity and inventiveness beyond monetary measurement? Whose story should we investigate next? William Shakespeare and his theatrical earnings, Napoleon and his military spoils, or Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and his eternal financial struggles? Your opinion truly matters to us. Write in the comments whose financial biography you want to see in our next investigations. If this journey into the mind of the greatest genius made you think about the nature of success and wealth, support our channel, whether you measure value in dollars, euros, pounds, or even Bitcoin. Subscribe and hit the bell, because ahead of us are many more amazing discoveries at the intersection of history, finance, and human genius.